You cannot go around me or through me to get to my Father law, for he and I are one and the same. Now you see what must be done before you can be a universal architect.
Universal justice. Balance scale, divine righteous judgment. Not be the black man time. Fuck if you trust this, you gonna feel the positive vibe. Oh, we gon' bust quick. How do you filthy as lies? Young black people need to learn who you are and understand why you're light skin, brown and dark. And always know where the sun get the heat to stay hot. Stand firm and you're swearing you never will stop. Rock out with your cock out and never drop out. You be the masters of subconscious ultra builder, no doubt. You build a planet real fast, ultra smooth with no sound. You build a planet real fast, ultra smooth with no sound.
Sun's in sight, katana swore be my call. I fast to meditate upon that ass like we're all. Assimilate your fate along the brigade.
You cannot go around me or through me to get to my Father law, for he and I are one and the same. Now you see what.
Yo, peace. What's happening, everybody? Man, it's good to see everybody. Peace to everybody that's tuning in with us, man. Here with the 5% connection. I hope y'all feeling good. I hope everybody in good health and good energy, man. Welcome. Y'all know how we do, man. If you live with us on Facebook or on Instagram or YouTube or TikTok, man, it's your brother, Minister Freedom Allah, man. I'm here with my man, IC Allah. We back in here for the God and Earth Hour podcast.
Peace to everybody.
Welcome. Like I said, man, I hope everybody is feeling good. We got another positive and powerful guest here with us tonight, man. And I will that everybody's here with your pens, with your pads, with your paper, and everything you need, man, so that you can get all the information, man, and learn and study while you here, man, and gain something from this, because it's definitely gonna be dope, man. So we here, man. Tonight's topic, we got another dope topic, as we always do, man. We like to bring something that's thought provoking and that can help spark the minds and spark the thoughts, man, to get your brain going and helping you out on your path and your journey, man. I see you want to say anything, man. Coming up, you want to introduce yourself? Anybody who may be new on the channel.
Peace to everybody. You know, my name is IC Allah, right here in D Mecca. You know, we on this great show that I'm proud to be a part of. You know, welcome y'all to the 5% Connection. This is the God and Earth Hour. It's our podcast, you know, and as usual, every Tuesday and every Friday, you know, we bring y'all what it is we got to give hot off the press. You know, tonight, I'm proud and I'm anxious, you know, I'm proud to have the guests that we got tonight, and I'm anxious to get into it with the God and, you know, crack open some atoms with the God and, you know, give y'all what we got to give. You know, so peace.
Word, peace, God. Peace to the God. So what I'm gonna do, man, I'm gonna bring our guests up to the stage, man. Let the God introduce himself, man, before we hop into the topic and before we get to asking questions and all that stuff, man. I do want to give the God a great opportunity, man, to introduce himself so we can add on and keep the bill rolling. Peace, God. I'm gonna bring you on up to the stage and give you the opportunity to introduce yourself. Peace.
Peace.
Peace to the planet, man. I'm known as the God Lord Jamel. Yeah, and I build continuously. I teach all over the planet, everywhere I go. So I am who I am, and that's what I do. So I wanted to get with the young brothers today, man, and see what's going on, man. You know, I follow what they're doing. I have big love and respect for brothers who do this kind of stuff, especially now in these days and times when the medium seems to be about.
Definitely right and exact. You definitely, on that, and I appreciate that, God. You know, it's a pleasure to be able to not only be able to add on with brothers who kind of can see what some of the things we strive to do, but and God, in your own right, God, you do it. You a worker of many great works in the medium of communication and communicating the knowledge and transferring the information and not just teaching, God, because I know you definitely a great teacher, but in using other mediums like this one, God, to transfer information, man. So it's definitely a pleasure, God, to have you with us, man. Peace, God.
Peace, God.
Peace. So, tonight's subject, man, tonight's subject, man. For anybody, and if anybody on YouTube, yeah, our volume went out for like 10 seconds, but no, I just turned it back up. You, yeah, it went out. Is that cool
Yeah,
now?
yeah, I'm good right now. Yeah.
Yeah, it went out for like 10 seconds. As we let us know in the comments, man, is the volume back cool? So we should be good. I know it went out for like a little second. But what we talking about tonight? Our bill, our subject, because we always like to have something that we can get into and that we can add on to as gods. It's one thing to just get on here and just build. We don't want to do that. We want to have a direction and have some place that we can go and take a person from start to finish. So tonight our subject is, what are the tools of indoctrination? Right? What are the tools of indoctrination and how do we combat them? We to say that I think it's very intelligent to say and to understand that as a people, not just black people, but people all over the place to a great degree are being indoctrinated, are being, hit with information that's not all the way correct, that's not all the way right. We being given, whether that's marketing propaganda or from history propaganda. It's so many forms of indoctrination. I think a lot of people may not know and may not understand what these tools are and what are the vehicles that's helping to indoctrinate people and helping to lead people in the wrong direction. Because I think it's our job to help people get in the right direction and help people be right and exact, as opposed to misled. We 5%ers. We here to be leaders, to be teachers, to be movers and pushers of society and pushers of civilization. So I can want to open the topic up to the gods, see what y'all add on with that. That was kind of my little intro, but I see you maybe want to add on to that, just to that point, to that question.
No doubt. Well, when I hear this topic and I think about it and I strive to define it within my own mind, I think about a plethora of things that I will consider tools of indoctrination. And in today's time, with the advent of the internet, there's many more tools that's been exposed that, we had no idea, no inclination that these things would be or had the capability of being used as a tool or even existing for that matter. However, one of the first things that I think that is a tool of indoctrination, well, without a thought, I think everybody can agree that religion is one. That's one of the first tools of indoctrination. Outside of the religion, a lot of the institutions that we have, a lot of the state-governed institutions that are in place for the people today, they're part of the indoctrination system. The second part of the question is, how do we combat them?
Yes.
Well, first and foremost, the most effective way that I see that we have as a tool to combat them is gain the knowledge of self. Once you gain knowledge of self, and you know who you are, and you know your place in the scheme of things, and you understand your relationship to the universe and everything around you, then I think that is a very good tool to eliminate the systematic things that put against the people to keep them in an indoctrinated state.
Peace, God. I like that, God. If I could bring you up to the stage, Lord Jamel, God, what would you? Can I get your add on to that?
Yeah, man. Indoctrination, man. The number one tools, like the brother had just said, man. Of course, is religion, right? But you got to look beyond that, man, because that's not just a tool, right? That's just one of the major avenues that they use. The tools are the real way that they be able to infiltrate and get into the mindset of the people. So you got to look at the illusion or the pursuit of money, power, and respect, because this is the way that they're trying to get into the people today. You know what I mean? The people today, everybody wants to be popular, everybody wants to be paid, everybody wants to be respected amongst their peers. You know what I mean? So the pursuit of these things is stuff that they flaunt in front of you through all the mediums that you have, commercials, TV, music, all that kind of stuff, advertising, So this way they can influence you to believe what they want you to believe is right, the right way to go. When we know that the pursuit of those things, especially the pursuit of them in savagery, is not the answer. That's why when the brother said "now to self," I shook my head and was like, correct. Because those things are all right to have, but if you have to have them at the sacrifice of your principles and the sacrifice of what you believe and what you practice, and that's wrong. And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get us to go against our own nature. And once you can get a people or a person to go against their own nature, right? Basically, you got them hooked. Now they got to follow what you doing because they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing, and there's nothing else for them to do but the images and stuff that you show them. Now, that's the one reason why I got into the whole medium thing in the first place, because what I recognize is that we as a people, right, are a visual people. We always have been, from the hieroglyphs to the drum circles. We always have been a visual people with our storytelling, our songs, and our dance, and all of that kind of stuff, and our artwork, right? And the devil recognizes this. So what he does is he says, okay, let me control the visual images that they are fed. So he shows us visual images, and audio images of us treating our women like shit, and of us hating our brother, and the jail is the place to be, and all these other things that he feeds us these images. And as he feeds us these images, if we do it, if we see it long enough, we will do it. And once we do it, we become the best at it. That's why there's more of us in those places, and that's why we suffer the most. So what we got to do, the way to combat that, is to be able to take control of our own visual image. That's why I created the Channel 7 On Demand, because we got to find a way to be able to take control of the images we see of ourselves, or we should shut the fuck up, because we ain't doing nothing if we don't control the images that we see of ourselves. Our children are going to be influences by these images, our children's children, long after we hear, long after the echo of your voice dies down, those images will still be here, feeding the generations upon generations, right? And feeding them the wrong food so that they could be the wrong man or not the true and living God.
Peace.
So that's why it is so important, especially in these days and age, man, when we got the internet, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and all that other stuff, you know what I mean, where the world has become a visual medium. We are like in a vaudeville of film right now. I don't know if you know anything about vaudeville, but as far as vaudeville was concerned, everybody was trying to get their 10 minutes of fame by getting on stage and getting past the opening curtain. All right, and it's the same way right now. Everybody trying to get their little 5 minutes of fame. Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat.
YouTube.
Anybody with a cell phone today is a movie producer and director.
Wow.
All right, so now we're overwhelmed with all these visual images and visual mediums, right? And we don't control none of it. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, they are raping us as a society. They give us pennies to the dollar for our creativity, our stories, you know what I mean? Our culture.
Peace,
These
God.
are the things that they get rich off of and giving us nothing.
Bill,
So
God.
I truly see that, indoctrination is something that's going to continue to happen until we change it. Because it's just like fire. That shit is going to stay alive, man, until you put it out.
Peace, God. Listen, I want to go into something. I want to backtrack a little bit based on something you just said, because I want to keep the people abreast and make sure the people know, what I'm saying, what we got going on and who they have amongst them. It's always wise to know, whose presence that you are amongst. So you mentioned 7 On Demand, God. And I just want you to give some history and background on exactly what 7 On Demand is, and how you obtained it or whatnot, and created it, and just get that to the people, because that's important. And the things that you just mentioned in regards to being able to take control of our own media, resources and outlets. And being able to take control of that, and that being a driving factor that can be used in the combat against indoctrination.
Hey God, I'm gonna give you the history. All right. So back in 2004, I was asked to write a play. There was an adaptation, so I had to take a book and make a play. Right. And while I was doing it, I was considering all the angles that, our people need to be taught. But the problem with our people today, right, is that you can't tell them nothing. right? You tell them, yo, don't eat pork. They'll be like, yo, you ain't my mother. You can't tell me what to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So you can't tell them nothing. So what you got to do instead, or what I came up with, is you got to do what I call the Hansel and Gretel effect, right? You got to leave them a trail of breadcrumbs so they can figure it out for themselves. You know what I mean?
I like that, God. I like that.
You know, here, this equal is good. They like that. They'll deal with that. Then you be like, yeah, we got this kind of lifestyle from the Rastafarians. Yeah. So Rastafarians, man, they don't eat no pig. And they be like, yeah, I want to be like that. And then they stop eating it. So you got to basically leave them a trail of breadcrumbs so they can figure it out for themselves. Once they figure it out for themselves, they feel like they have ownership of that knowledge because nobody told them to do it. They figured it out.
No doubt.
All right?
No doubt.
So I was like, all right, so
genius.
what book could I make into a play? And the book hit me, bam, Superman the Man, J.E. Rogers. So I did the play Superman the Man.
One of my favorite reads. One of my favorite reads. One of my first reads.
Instead of teaching one person at a time, how come I can't teach a whole auditorium full of people, right? With the same effect, with the Hansel and Gretel effect. Lead them a trail of breadcrumbs so they can figure it out for themselves. And that's what the story of Superman to Man does. Right? It's really a trail of breadcrumbs to make you begin to look at your own anthropology and look at your own history as to where you come from, because not many of us, except for those with knowledge of self, know how we lived before we came over here, you know, in the slave ships or by other means. They don't even know how we lived back then because their indoctrination, bam, was so good that we lost connection to our ancestors and they lost connection to their forebears, which is us, right? So we got to understand that in order for us to be able to know how to teach the other people and guide them back to being able to connect to their ancestors and to being able to connect to the knowledge of who they really are, right? We got to find a method to do that they will accept, that they will like say, okay, I figured it out for myself. You know, it's not like in our day and time or in my day and time when, you know, everybody wanted to have knowledge because we needed to be able to show and prove to the world, you know, that we was God, as well as, you know, a lot of times show and prove to ourselves.
No doubt.
Right? But in these days and times, we taught so well back then that everybody know that that's the reality. So they feel like they don't need to have the science or the knowledge to be able to prove it. You know, I asked my son one time, like, yo, man, why you ain't studying your lessons? He was like, yo, man, I ain't got to show and prove to nobody that I'm God. I know I'm God. And I'm like, all right, yeah, that's true, but how you going to teach your babies? And he's like, oh, all right, then he got on his lesson. I'm just saying that, like, you know, so back when I did Superman the Man, right, I did this play, and I did it, man. You know, I was teaching people. People was learning. That the play was hot. It was a pretty good success out here in Baltimore when I first did it, right? But then the plays are only a 6-week animal. So after the play was over, I had all this hype, you know what I mean, and write-ups in the newspapers and all that other kind of stuff, right? But I didn't have nothing to follow it. So what happened is my popularity, like what I said, people look for popularity, my popularity started dwindling over time. So by the time I had come up with my next project, it was about 4 years later, and nobody even remembered my name, right? So I was like, okay, so what I need to do, man, is I need to, like, every time I do a project, have a project ready to go so that this way I can stay on top and on forefront of people's minds, so that when I speak, I can speak as an authority, so people would be like, yeah, that's the brother, that's that brother. Right? Yeah. So I did that. So meanwhile, I'm looking at we did a run of plays, Superman the Man, around the country. And I'm looking at it like, you know, all these little 6-week bids, 6 weeks here, 6 weeks there, 6 weeks there. And I was like, yo, a play don't have no elasticity. You know, even though we filmed the play and you can see it on the Channel 7 on demand, you know, it's nothing like being in the theater with the lights and the sound and the music and all that other stuff. So what I said was, what I need to do is I need to start making movies, because a play only lasts 9 weeks. But a movie, you know, when you finish it, you know, when the roaches inherit the earth, the movie will still be here. Right. You know, so the movie don't go nowhere never. Right. So I was like, okay, well, that way it can influence the generations. Now, this was 10 years ago, right, when I came up with that idea to start making movies. All right. Now, later on, after I made a couple of movies and, like, you know, I did the same thing in all of my movies, man, you'll see that Hansel and Gretel effect, man. You ain't going to see nobody with the negative thing is the winner, right? You're going to see somebody who was negative turn positive, you know what I mean, and then help and give something to the community. That's what you're going to see in the stuff that I've done, right? So I was like, okay, well, once I get to that point, I'm like, I need to find a way to be able to show these movies, and nobody wanted to buy them. I couldn't like get no distribution, right? So I did my last movie, right? It's called Drug Affected, right? About this drug dealer who overcomes that stuff, and gets out the game. And I couldn't get nobody to to buy it or to show it on Netflix or other channels or whatever. You know what I mean? So I was like, okay. So I asked my son. I was like, yo, God, I want to be able to do a showing of the movie for the people that was in it, since I can't sell it and put it out there in the movie theaters and stuff. So he was the one who told me about this opportunity to be able to buy a TV channel. So me and him partnered together. We bought the TV channel called Seven on Demand. That's the channel you're talking about.
That was the
right?
name. That was the name of the channel when you acquired, or did you name it that?
Now we named it that, right?
Okay.
So after we got Seven on Demand, I'm thinking that it was a TV station, but it's not. What we bought was a TV network. So basically, there's another company out there that got another network. It's called Film Rise, right? And they got all these different channels, all these Film Rise channels. You got a Black Entertainment Film Rise channel, a Western Film Rise channel, a documentary Film Rise channel. You know what I mean? And we do too. You know what I mean? So Seven on Demand is a network, not a channel. We do have a Seven on Demand, which we call 7 TV Live, which is our TV station, right? But we also can host up to 300 plus channels, right? Because we're so new, we only been in business 19 months, right? Because we're so new, we have only acquired at this point sales for 24 channels. So we got 24 channels on our network, but we have the capacity for over 300 channels. So what we're looking at is okay, well, why don't we get the young filmmakers, and the people who got a whole bunch of content just living in their computer because they couldn't get distribution. Why don't we reach out to them, man, and give them a platform at which, they can control their own channel. Because again,
Like
that's
said,
another way to be able to control the visual images that we see of ourselves.
Right.
Right. So we came up with Seven on Demand, you know what I mean? And we came up with the mantra, right, of join the movement to control your own image. Join the movement to take over the network. Because YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all of them, man, they're raping us so bad as a people, right? We need true value for our accomplishments, true value for our creativity, true value for our content, true value for our culture, right? They're giving us pennies on the dollar. So what I did was when I did Seven on Demand, I came up with a way for filmmakers and other artists to be able to show their stuff and get up to 70% of all the money generated from it. So we take 30, you get 70.
Damn, God.
You know what I mean?
Peace to the God.
Right. Exactly. So we paying people fair value for their artistic creativity. Whereas like, the social media and, those media networks and media websites, they robbing people. They're robbing people. They pay you pennies on the dollar.
No, you right. God, you right and exact, God. I mean, in 100%, because I mean, we see it just even what we doing with this podcast here, God. I mean, there's so many restrictions right out the gate in terms of monetization and how they pay you for what they do with your content, how they advertise on your content. You know what I mean? Well, I mean, which is understandable. I know this is not only what a lot of people fail to realize is not only are we, doing things like this, but for a lot of people, including these social media networks, it's a business. And God, I really like what you said, like you said, the trail of breadcrumbs, the Hansel and Gretel kind of science, and God, that was really, really right the inspiration where we was at, for making the 5% connection, God, of being able to put content out to kind of help lead the people to what they looking for and to help find it and help get it connected with it, God. And I've been a avid supporter, man, and had me a subscription since since I first found out about it, man. And I've been loving the channel ever since, man. And I think it's really dope what you're doing, God, especially how you starting to incorporate,
God,
different older movies and stuff. So it's really dope. But
TV
go ahead.
Channel, God, our TV channel is 100% free. and always will be, right? That's like the TV, because every week we do a playlist. Our playlist, which includes like, the original Kung Fu Theater on Saturday at 3 o'clock or 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. You know what I mean? So that is always going to be free. But like, we created a mobile app. I'm going to tell you how I created this mobile app, just to show you, man, how necessity is the mother of invention. I had been looking to companies for a mobile app for the TV station, because at first it was just on Roku, right? And everybody was talking about, $5,000, $10,000, $30,000 to build this mobile app. I was like, yo, that's crazy, right? A mobile app 10 years ago was $500. Why is it $30,000 now? Right? But I get it. The average person can't do it, so you can charge what you want. And, oh, man. Hold fast, dog. You're about to die. Yeah, God. So I get it. $30,000 because, the average person can't do it, right? And because they got to hire teams and teams and teams and 50, 80 employees to be able to run their company to make mobile apps. So you got to pay all of them. So that's why it costs so much. I get it. So I was like, yo, if you can learn 120, you can master 120, there's nothing you can't learn. So I was like, all right, I'm going to figure out how to build a mobile app, right? So I went online and started looking for a tutorial to be able to make like Netflix or Hulu or whatever, and it was nothing, crickets. I couldn't find nothing at all. But while I was out there, I stumbled on a tutorial to be able to create a dating app. So I was like, yo, let me just create this dating app, and this way, I'll be able to, learn enough about apps where I might be able to make the app that I'm looking for, right? And then while I was creating the app, I was like, hold it, wait a minute. Why don't I just make the people who are looking for dates into the people who want to watch movies, and the people that they're trying to date into movies? And then that's what I did. I converted it so that the people who is trying to find dates, they are the people who are watching, and the people who are trying to be dated, those are the movies. So I just converted a dating app, hooked it up, and changed it into 7 On Demand's mobile app. Now, when I first finished making 7 On Demand's mobile app, after you would watch a movie, it would say, like, do you want to contact them? Do you want to give them your number? Do you want to say yes, send them flowers and all that other shit, right? But when I finally removed all of that, then I launched the mobile app. And now, the mobile app is doing big things. The mobile app has surpassed Roku 5 times over.
Peace, God.
All right, so that's just to show you that, like, in order to be able to, like, get things done, they're not going to give us no seed money. They're not going to give us no grant money, in order to be able to, like, come up with these things, because they're trying to shut us down. They're trying not to let us be able to, like, derail them robbing us. So we just got to be able to use our own ingenuity to be able to come up with a way to be able to have ownership of our own.
Word, true indeed, God, true indeed. And God, you got an Instagram, right? Don't you? You got an IG.
Of course.
What's your IG, God? I wanted to make sure I dropped it, or just where can people follow or find?
The number 7 On Demand.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I just ain't want to be wrong. And then, God, where can people that maybe want to subscribe or want to sign up or want to, get the 7 On Demand app? Where do they need to go?
They need to go to a website, because we are not on Google Play Store or the Apple Store or anything yet, right? Okay. And the reason why, and this is ridiculous, right, is because they say that we don't merit being on those platforms yet, because we don't have the viewership to warrant it, right? So they're looking for us to have like 10,000 people. Now, 10,000 people I know personally know my name. So it's just sad that that's the case. But here's the reality. We just don't support our own, man, because the indoctrination, there go that word again, that they use has us have the attitude that we are crabs in a barrel and we shouldn't support ourselves. We'll go out and spend more money on a pair of sneakers than we will on tires, even though tires will get us 100,000 miles further, right? But we won't support our own. You know what I mean? As long as it's free, which is the reason why we have the free channel, then people will jump on there. Our people will jump on there. But as soon as that you ask them to be able to support us, you know what I mean? Even those people who could do it easily, they just don't. And it's all because of he likes the devil because the devil gives him nothing. So here I am giving them something, and they don't like that.
And what's your website, God? What's the website?
All right, so it's HTTPS.
One more time.
HTTPS.
Yep.
Semicolon. / TV. True Victory. .7. Cipher Divine. OD. Cipher Divine. Alphabets. So 1 mathematics, the number 7, 2 alphabets, OD, right? .app.
So that's TV.7od.app.
Yep.
Peace God. Peace God. So the link is in the comments, man, for anybody. So we got the link. We got the link to the the God's app, man. I'm personally a subscriber myself, man. It's a lot of great content, a lot of great movies, a lot of just stuff to watch, man. Just a lot of jewels in general, man. So
God, you say you got.
We got Spookoo set by the door.
You say you got
Yeah.
the Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
You say
Yeah.
you got the Saturday night kung fu joints. I mean, Saturday afternoon kung fu joints.
Original Kung Fu Theater every Saturday.
Yo, that shit is dope. It's worth subscribing just for that. I'm on it.
And the subscription, the God subscription ain't nothing crazy. The God, your subscription $3 a month or something like that. God ain't nothing crazy.
$6,000 a year, man. Yep.
The God subscription ain't like that. You know what I mean?
So we should have thousands of people. Let me tell you something, man, about how we are as a people, man. And this is sad, and this is why we know that indoctrination is working, right? Because we got a lot of brothers that claim to have righteous content or righteous conscience, right?
Right.
That they conscious minded, and I get a chance to see the emails of the people that join and the things that they watch and stuff like that. And there's more of us that call themselves righteous, man, on the Criminal Thug Life channel than there is on the Law School of Mecca channel.
That's something right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's just because, he like the devil because the devil gives him nothing.
No doubt.
So we got to understand, man, that, everybody claims to be righteous, right, is not on the same level. There's many different levels of that. You know what I mean? It was said to me that the father said he had good sons and bad sons, right sons and wrong sons, right? And they're all his sons, right? Mm-hmm. So I get that. God got to be seen and heard everywhere. So that means that God got to be in the back alley, right? God got to be in the boardroom and everything in between. White collar, blue collar, crime collar, no collar. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Everything in between. So I get that. So that's why, what I try to do, man, is I try to get with people, man, who's doing the same things that I'm doing. You know what I mean? So we got a lot of stuff going on. It ain't just the Kung Fu Theater. The world famous Supreme Team, they just got a channel from me. It's called Truth and Nothing But. The Law School in Mecca, they were the first ones to jump on board to get a channel. Then we got all the cartoons from the Atlanta School of Gifted Youngsters. You know what I mean? All the little cartoons about, for the children. So we got a lot of other content as well as a documentary channel, where we have all the nature stuff, survival shit. That's all that kind of stuff. Shit, so it really is all the things that we need to know as a people to be able to survive the things that are coming.
No doubt.
Word, God. And we've been talked about it before, and I've been saying it. And me and IC saying it, that the 5% connection is definitely up next, man, and we definitely got to get on there.
Yeah,
and get our content on there. What the God told me, because me and the God talked when we first started, God, and even he told me just God, because remember it was a time where the majority of the content that we was pushing out, especially the short form content that we do on the page is not completely something that's ours. We do a lot of repurposing and reposting and stuff like that. So it was more when even God said, God, y'all take the time, build up some episodes. You know what I mean, and build up the content, and then we, you know what I mean, then we get it going. So we there now. You know what I'm saying? We got it going, but we definitely
Right, and for
we
real,
definitely on the
man,
way.
I'm not opposed to y'all having your own channel. You know what I mean? Where you could air live, on the channel whenever you air live, but you could also, anybody could just go on the channel and watch all your back episodes and they can watch them in order.
Right, true indeed. Yeah, peace, God. Yeah, God, I like that, man. Definitely, we definitely with that. You know, that's something we've been talking about and been wanting to get to. Cause I understand just even what you're saying is that in a way, and this even tie in to just even what we're going into is that at some point as a culture and as a nation of people that's coming forth with a righteous teaching and a righteous message, I think it's important for us to be able to control our narrative and control how we able to control our message, or how the public is able to perceive us, and how we show and prove, how we able to display our art, our talent, like you said, the music, the movies that we able to make, the plays, and being able to describe ourselves in our own voice, God, versus other people describing what it is for us, if that makes sense.
Or buying our stories for pennies and making millions.
Right.
Because they do that a lot too, man. You know what I mean? Because, you might think that Spike Lee made Malcolm X, man, but, he borrowed a hell gang of money from a whole bunch of them in order to be able to make it. So now, basically, they own it because he got to pay them back for that. So who controls Malcolm X's, narrative? They do. You got to get it through their publishing companies. Who owns Martin Luther King's narrative? They do. You see what I mean? So we don't even own our own stuff. Yo, man, I had to fight to get Brother from Another Planet.
God, I just started seeing that advertised on what was it? It was what was it? It wasn't Tubi. Maybe it was Netflix. It was something I've been seeing it advertised on something.
Exactly.
Lately, yeah.
Exactly. And it's on 7 too. You know what I mean?
Right.
So we never claim to have exclusive content. You can see our stuff someplace else. But when you do, you supporting them. You know what I mean? When you watch it with us, you supporting us. So we trying to raise up that viewership so that we can go to the next level and get on the Google Play Store and the Apple Store and stuff like that, like they do.
Yeah, God.
And the only way we're going to be able to do it, God, is if you support us, Mr. Planet. If the planet come out and support us, man, we'll rock that. We got the professionalism, we got the knowledge. I've been around this industry, man, for all my life. I grew up backstage on Broadway. Some of y'all know my history. You know what I mean? So it's like, yo, I know what I'm doing. I know how to do it. My son was raised on it. So me and him as partners in this.
Word. That's what's up.
Because, you got to bring the young guys in, man. Because don't just let them be out there, man, trying to fend for themselves, man. You got to bring them in so that, when you return to the essence or whatever, you can carry it on.
It's
like I
passing
said,
the baton.
This is something that's infinite and eternal.
No doubt. You got to pass that baton.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? Pass that
You
torch.
got to pass it while you're here rather than them trying to pick up the slack when you leave.
No doubt. That's legacy.
So that's why he is the president. He's the CEO. I'm the COO. I'm the operating officer.
That's powerful,
all right?
God.
I'm a fly the helicopter until
You the
all
gatekeeper.
the bells and whistles is done.
You the gatekeeper, God. No doubt. That's the way it's supposed to be done. You know what I'm saying? Doing what you do to make sure that the youth are preserved. And then they get them lessons to make sure they do it the same way. You know what I'm saying? For their seeds.
So pull him up, man. DJ J7.
DJ J7?
J7.
DJ J7.
The untouchable DJ J7.
Okay. The untouchable DJ J7.
Oh, the guy do music too?
Yeah, no doubt. He owns the record company, LeGrand Records.
Okay. Well, give it to us. LeGrand Records. What is that, guy?
LeGrand Records.
What is
that?
it?
That's the sister company of 7 On Demand. LeGrand Records. that he runs and operates. So he's doing the record company. I'm doing the TV station.
Okay. Okay, God. We talking
We
about
also-
big,
we
talking about big
also-
things, God. I mean, God, listen,
also
God,
have-
listen, God. Hold on, God, because you been real humble while you dropping a whole lot of shit on us. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, like, you know, you running through it like we already know it, but you know, you got to give us, you know what I'm saying, the background,
Understood,
and you know what I'm
God.
saying.
Peace to the God. Go, God. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, you know, the Grand Records, and you know, you said that's the co-company to Seven on Demand. That's the music wing. We got the
Indeed.
we got the movie wing, and we got the music wing. You understand? So
And
I
then
mean,
you got my company, which is Seven Lights Productions.
seven,
That's the production company to make them movies.
right? You know, so I'm just saying to our viewers out here, you see who you got before you. You know, you know, chime in. You know, right now, you know, this is the 5% connection. Connection is another word for networking. A lot of you
Correct.
individuals out here right now, you may need to, you know, get in the chat, you know what I'm saying, try to get the guys, you know, info or whatever, you know, and get on with something what the guy got to offer. That's all I'm going to say. That's just the Jew for the night.
And well, one thing I was about to say, man, I think it's real peace, and it's always a beautiful thing, and I think that's why we like to have this type of platform to help not only expose people to, you know, one, to expose people to different aspects of the culture, and to different people expressing the culture in different ways, as well as to show and prove, man, that it's not just you. I like what you said earlier, God, is you got guys that got no collar, that got the blue collar, that got the white collar, that
The
we
white
got,
tee,
we got
the
guys
white
all
beater.
over the place.
The crime collar.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, and God, I think that and that just tied back in even when we talk about, like, when we talk about indoctrination, when we talk about the tools of indoctrination and how our people are indoctrinated. God, I think one of the biggest tools to fight that, man, is we just changing the narrative that we are incapable of doing these things.
Because we can control
Right.
the narrative.
Right.
You know, changing the narrative by controlling it.
And you
You
gotta
know.
remember too, God, there's one more thing, one more element that goes with that, man. And that is economics. Until we can control our own economic structure, man, we ain't doing nothing. You know what I mean? We could, but in order to get there, we do need to control the visual medium, because we can't control our economic structure until we start supporting each other.
God,
All right. So
that's one of the
the
main
things-
tools of indoctrination is the economics. Making sure
Money,
that our
power, and
finances
respect.
go out and not circulate.
money, power, and respect, the pursuit of those things.
Peace, God.
Right? So what
Peace.
we did, God, was we created a tax service. So we also have a tax service called Presidential Tax Service. Right? So it's fully automated, online, mobile app, the whole nine. You know what I mean? So those are the kind of things that we're getting into. We're looking into at the moment, and this is just like what we striving to do, because it ain't always about what we done. We gotta look to the future, right? What we striving to do, man, is we striving to open up a credit union, open up our own bank, right? So we can get cards, you know, Visa cards with the father picture on it, or a picture of the school or whatever. You know what I mean? So we talking about opening up something like that, and that's what we're building towards. You know, by the things that we're doing. So we got to be able to niche out some control in the economic world to be able to, like, you know, come up with this thing. Now, if you notice, right, I don't know if
Y'all hear this shit?
should,
Y'all hear this shit right here?
There's a lot of online banks and stuff right now, right? And it's not very hard to do that. You know what I mean? So we just got to get, like, you know, 100 people, man, to be able to, like, you know, cash their check through this prepaid card.
100 people.
And boom.
100 people.
100.
So I could come to you and so I could be a part of that, and I could come and cash some checks through you with this situation you talking about.
Cash your paycheck. Your paycheck will go right in there. You get it a day early, right?
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing, right? You can spend it. You ain't got to keep it in there. You can go spend it, pay your rent, all that other stuff that you do. You know what I mean? We just got to have the connection to your job, so that, like, you know, they can see that there's money coming through the account.
What
they
about
don't care
those?
how much money gets spent. All they count really is how much money go in.
What about those that self-employed?
It don't matter.
Okay.
Just pay yourself. I'm
Right.
self-employed. I pay myself.
Right. I'm willing to do that, God. You know, word is bond. You know,
Right. Like I
it's
said,
something
we
just
just
as
gotta
simple
get
as
enough
cashing
of
your
us.
check.
So right now we in
A
the
hundred
process,
people,
man.
a hundred people is not a whole lot. We got more than 100 people on different streaming services right now watching. You know,
Yo, man, 10,000 people know my name, man. You
right?
know, I do try to be humble or whatever, but I am a public figure.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you Google my name, a whole bunch of shit come up.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't one of them dudes that, like, you know, just showed up yesterday talking about, yo, I'm famous.
Word.
All right? I just don't carry it like that, man. I'm, you know, one of the crew, man. Joe Banana, one of the bunch or whatever. I don't be trying to be like, you know, headstrong and none of that stuff. But for real, man, nobody who's really about something, you know, is trying to fake like they're about something. Because they are about something.
Right.
Those motherfuckers who's always trying to, you know, trying to be about something because they ain't.
Yeah, you don't have to strive to project that when you're doing it.
Nah, not at all. You know what I mean?
No doubt.
I built my career on 4 words, God. 4 words. That was it.
What's that, God?
How can I help?
Boom. That's powerful.
And everything fell in place because of that.
Mm.
You know, when I wanted to get back into show business after years of being out of show business, man, I found a theater that had a repertory theater, and I went there and I asked them, yo, how can I help?
Mm-hmm.
They were like, yo, just show up, man, and like sweep the floor, man, or whatever. You know what I mean? I showed up, man. Before you know it, man, I was on stage, man, with a cast of award-winning actors.
No doubt. Being of service.
Yeah, just being of service, man. You know, so helping others is the highest aspiration of the human heart.
Ain't
so,
no
like,
question, God. Ain't no question.
You know,
that's it. We all
so
servants, whether we want to acknowledge it or not. We all servants.
Let me manifest it, God. You got two kind of people in the world, God. You got givers and takers, right? People who take, right? There's universe is balanced, so there's always a bill in the mail. And when it comes, they don't want to pay it because it's too much or whatever the case might be. But if you're a giver and you give, when the universe is balanced, there's always a check in the mail. So you decide whether you want to have a check or a bill, man. That's on you as an individual. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
Yeah, that was nice.
Okay.
Yo, peace to the God. I like that one.
You slapped the mic after that one.
Word. Yo, man, and for anybody just hopping in, man, for anybody just tuning in with us, man, it's definitely a pleasure having y'all. Listen, if you listening in and you interested in learning more about this culture and these teachings and this way of life, man, make sure you go to the 5%connection.com. Enter your information, your name, your phone number, your email address, man, so we can connect you with the guys and earths, man, that's closest to you, and help you get with them, man. And I know y'all. I hope y'all been enjoying this great build, man. Our really, really powerful guest, man. We do got a couple songs that we want to play, man. We got one that was brought up and asked for a replay. We had somebody ask us if we could run this one back, and I do got a new video, man, from my man. Brass Fresco, man. We super supporters of the Bakers Club crew, man. So I definitely got to get this video up.
Peace.
So we're gonna rock these two real quick. Y'all know how we do, man. You know we gotta show our brothers some love. And let me pull this up. So we just, because not only is we about, going in our topic and what we teaching on and what we got going on, we also want to show our brothers some love. You know what I mean, and help support those guys and those individuals, man, who making good music, who doing their thing, man. We want to be able to show them, make sure we help support those brothers, man, and get their name out and get what they got going on out, man, so they can be able to shine like they supposed to. And I think it just goes into what we was just talking about in terms of being able to have some control over our own narrative, have some control over our own image and of what we got going on and what we want to manifest, man. So I'm about to get this up. Hold on. Thought I had it ready, but it ain't go through. Just do it that way. Yeah, man. And also, too, if anybody got any questions, if y'all got anything that y'all want to ask, if it's anything that you want to ask the God or ask any of the guys on the panel, man, make sure that you drop it in the comments. so we can get your question answered, man, and you know get the add on that you may be looking for, man. So make sure if y'all tuning in, if you listening, and you got something that you want to ask or something you want to hear, man, make sure that you dropping it for us so that we can get an answer for you. So this one, man, we had somebody send us an email, man. They heard this song, heard this track on the podcast. Was like, yo, man, if y'all can play that one again, that was really dope. My word is bond by Mr. Atlas. I meant to send the God a shout out, man. Let him know that we had a request for his joint, man. I'm sure he'll really appreciate that. Yeah. So I'm about to let that one rock real quick, and then I'm gonna bring the joint up for my man Raz Fresco, man. So if y'all let us know what you think about the track, man. If you didn't hear this one last time when we played it, I think that might have been some weeks ago when we played Mr. Atlas. Word is bond. So y'all let us know what y'all think in the comments, man. We about to go on and let it rock.
Peace.
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 I'm about to let that one rock real quick, and then we're gonna what audio coming through over there? Oh.
Say audio not coming through.
No.
There we go.
This way, yeah.
Peace. There we go.
I just gotta start it over.
Here we go.
Because somebody tweeted me and said you didn't mention Clarence 13X, who is the founder of the 5% Nation. And I didn't mention him not because he shouldn't be mentioned. I just couldn't mention everybody that should be mentioned, but he certainly should be mentioned.
Yeah, go ahead and clean that up.
Because his work, though he is absent, is still going on.
165135. Have you not heard that your word shall be bond, regardless of whom or what? My approach is militant like Farrakhan's in 85. Flanked by Mustafa and Khalid, now who wanna collide? Take the speed of rotation of the earth, let's multiply. By the daily hours for the circumference we reside. This criteria is too critical to trivialize. The 85 sees the rain, hell and snow with their eyes. They've accepted this mystery will unfold when they guide. 10% know the dead won't return to tell they lied. Vindicating the 5% nation of Islam. Regardless of whom or what, I know that my word is bond. In the eye of the storm, I'm trained to remain calm. Cause I'm purposely built to go above and beyond. In Thomas Jefferson's possession, he owned the Quran. Prior to the preamble to the Constitution's form, being counted as 3/5 politics of the norm. Illuminating that business is the foundation of war. Approximately 7 centuries and 4 scores. Prior to Columbus, scholars referred to us as Moors. When Portugal penetrated Western African shores, there were no vaccinations, our nutrition was the cure. Vindicating the 5% nation of Islam. Regardless of whom or what, I know that my word is bond. In the eye of the storm, I'm trained to remain calm. Cause I'm purposely built to go above and beyond. Vindicating the 5% nation of Islam. Regardless of whom or what, I know that my word is bond. In the eye of the storm, I'm trained to remain calm. Cause I'm purposely built to go above and beyond. Medical martial law, we vehemently oppose. William Cooper warned us of this pale horse we behold. As COVID complications, concerns, and compliance grows, my directives are food, shelter, protection, and clothes. Anything in direct conflict is eliminated. Freedom is bloodshed and it can't be negotiated by preachers who serve and serve us to keep us subjugated. Teaching the mystery God will bring us food while we home awaiting. Itself a savior, actual facts, embrace it. The origin of man is in my DNA, trace it to whatever part of the planet Earth, and I was there. Cause I'm the maker and the owner, thus the best knower. Plus solar controller, electrical chemistry, straight to the point, geometrically, astronomically polar. Salute to all generals, captain, lieutenants, and soldiers, and peace to 120 lesson crown holders. Vindicating the 5% nation of Islam. Regardless of whom or what, I know that my word is bond. In the eye of the storm, I'm trained to remain calm. Cause I'm purposely built to go above and beyond. Vindicating the 5% nation of Islam. Regardless of whom or what, I know that my word is bond. In the eye of the storm, I'm trained to remain calm. Cause I'm purposely built to go above and beyond. Yes, my word is bond, and bond is life. And I will give my life before my word shall fail. 165135.
All right, man. Y'all let us know in the
Peace.
comments what you thought about Mr. Atlas. My word is bond. I see anything you might want to drop. Anything you want to say about
That shit was
that
dope.
track?
That shit was dope.
Like that one?
That shit was dope. Yeah. I'm just saying, when you were saying it, I was going through my mental Rolodex, striving to, bring back up the track. But once you put it on, I remembered it instantly. And I'm like, yo, that shit was hot right there. I like that. You know. What about you, Lord J? What you think about that track?
Oh, that track was hot, bro. You know what I mean? I love it when I hear people building truth, man. The problem is not that people don't be building, right? The problem is that, like, they don't be giving the kind of marketing and promotion, financial backing when people is telling the truth, man. When our contribution is 5% to hip hop, right? It's three things: mind, rhythm, and flow in that order, right? So.
Word.
We come with mind, we come with intellectual teachings, right? And that was how we influenced hip hop in the beginning. But what happened is at some point they start seeing that we was influencing people in a positive direction, so they start throwing big money at people who was talking stupidity. So now it's to the point where it's like, I'm a jack in the box and my head pops off, you know what I mean? And they'll throw millions and millions and millions of dollars into marketing that, but I'm gonna support my brother and be down for the cause. They won't let you play that on the radio.
Word. No, true indeed, God. No, you're right about that, man. And that's why I think it's important that we take it upon ourselves, and even like you've been, reiterating what the points that you've been making and throwing out all night, God, making sure that we control our narrative, and that we for sure, if nobody else is playing our people, that we playing our people, and that we playing the music that we got, if we can, to the best of our ability. And I know you might catch everything, but definitely go ahead.
What I want to know is, like, who is that, man? Because, like, you playing an audio track, even though you got a visual medium. Oh, God, you can be playing the video to that, man. If they don't have a video, they need to contact me, because Seven Lights Productions, what we do is we make music videos for people.
God, what it is, because you're on the call with us in Zoom, you just could. I don't know if you was.
All right, so you did rock. You rocked the music video.
Oh yeah,
all right, that's
absolutely,
peace.
absolutely, God. That's the only way That's the only way we really do it. We be really striving to cater to gods who have videos with a track, because I personally prefer to play a video and play, a video and a track for a video audience. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it was definitely a video. Like when I'll send you the playback on YouTube or whatever, and you'll be able to see the God's video.
All right, positive.
Word.
Yeah, because I can't go on it right now, man, because we'll create too much feedback.
Yeah, it's all good, God. I got you. I'm about to run. I got one more, and then we're gonna get ready to get up out of here. Look at that, not yours. The one that want to work. So next up, I got my man. Y'all know I'm a super avid supporter, man. Of the Bakers Club, of the Bakers Club crew, of just the whole team, Raz Fresco, and just the whole crew, man. Oh, you good? I see. I'm just a whole supporter of the whole team over there, man. Out in CLR Nation, man. Peace to the God, I Power, man. Also known as Raz Fresco. It's a new video he just dropped yesterday, so I want to make sure we showed him some love, showed the God some support, man. Y'all check us out. Let us know what y'all think about it, man. If you ain't already up on Raz Fresco, you better definitely get on it, man. The God is coming live, man. I love the God's music, man. So here you go. Peace.
She seen the sun in my eyes, it's like the sunrise, truly one of a kind. Under the horizon line, the wife was crime, side chick rhymes. Cheated like 1,000 times with the mic. Late night, turnpike, serving the white. Slowly unearthing my birthright. It's life or death, fight or flight. Supreme North Face, beef and broccoli homicide. It hurt to see your mama cry. The doctor say she's slowly going blind. You thinking to yourself, damn, she ain't get to see me shine. I can't not grind. Soul in my raps have them down in that pot god. Easy dropped out of college, out to high school by new BC plug. Got the block spot car. Something on the side for the beef and it's not fries. It's not five guys. Why these cats acting like they got 9 lives?
Welcome back. It is my great pleasure to welcome my partner in crime on this series.
Peace. And you know that was a really dope joint, man. I think the guy was saying that was his old Earth the guy had in the video with him, man. So I think that video was kind of personal and dope to him, man. So that was really dope. I liked the visuals on that. I was definitely gonna tell the guy. You know, he come with it. The guy got a nice flow and his own style, man, and I think it's really dope. Y'all let us know what y'all thought in the comments, man. And you know, if you've been rocking with us all night, man, we've been going into this real dope topic just about the tools of indoctrination. How do we combat indoctrination, controlling and taking over our narrative, being able to express our own narrative not only as a culture, as a nation, and just how people can do that themselves, man. Being able to gain knowledge of self, combat the indoctrination that you're given through schools, combat the indoctrination of religion, as well as what's being fed into your mind, man. So it's definitely been a dope one, man. Make sure if you missed the episode that you're able to catch the full replay on YouTube, on Facebook. You can even listen on Spotify, man, and everywhere that podcasts are streaming. I see any thoughts in closing, God, before we get up out of here?
Yeah, I just want to say peace to everybody, and you know, just make sure you just keep in mind the topic of tonight's topic, you know, show, which is the tools of indoctrination. And that's what we're about, removing the tools of indoctrination, combating the tools of indoctrination, you know, and always strive to make sure that you get knowledge of yourself. Strive to know yourself. Strive to be the best version of yourself, you know, and I'm going to continue to say that all the time, every show, at the end of every show. Always make sure that you strive to be the best version of yourself, you know, and learn something every day. Strive to educate yourself. Add something to your mental repertoire, you know, because you have to strive to make sure that you can be the best version of yourself. And the only way to do that is to educate yourself. And with that, I say peace.
Peace, God. Lord Jamel, anything in closing, God?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Of course, you know I'm old school, man. So Dave Mathematics with culture, right? So what that's talking about, man, is that, and that's all being born to equality. So wisdom is words and actions, right? And culture is life, right? And when your words and actions are brought to their best, like the brother was just talking about, be your best, when they're brought up to their fullest and best equality, right? Your words and actions are wisdom. That means they influence others, right? And when your culture, the way you live, is brought up to its fullest and best equality, it's divine taken into the alphabets. And divine means the best in all aspects. Peace.
Peace.
Peace, God.
Peace to the God.
Peace, God.
Yeah, I like that.
No, I definitely like that. No,
Yeah,
the God came
took it
all the way
home.
with it. Yeah, the God brought it all the way home. Yeah, man. So definitely, man. Listen, if anybody, you know, I don't see any questions or anything last minute in the comments, man. Like I said, if you missed the whole live, Lord Jamel, you can stay with us, God, right after we end it. You don't have to hop off right now. But yeah, listen, if y'all enjoyed this live, man, make sure that you show us some support, man. You can go to the 5%connection.live if you want to donate, man, to the live stream and support us monetarily, man. If you want to check out our merchandise, we got clothes and hats and all this good stuff in the memorabilia of the 5% of the God and Earth Hour, and just supporting our platform and what we doing. You can go to the Knowledge Self Store and check us out over there. Other than that, man, make sure you following us on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, man, so that you can get live updates and notifications when we going live, and checking out the new content that we dropping, man. And we're gonna leave y'all in the same way that we came to y'all, man.